Morning. It is 8:09 and I have a pretty long drive right now, 98 miles, 2 hours. I'm gonna go pick up a bunch of stuff for the E36, things that I've been pretty much meaning to fix on this car, but now that I'm driving this a little bit more, I should probably tend to it. So let's see what we get into today.
Was lounging in my home. Should I even let you leave my mama and y'all got along? But shit, I take my L though. It's not fun. You still got your nigga and still had your fun. Shit, I can't even look at you and think about bad words. That's why I call this.
Okay, I have a mat in the bed right here, so it can go face down. The mirror is just gonna fold. There it is. Sweet. Perfect. And then the bumper, we can just toss right over that, I guess. Okay, I'll figure it out. And that. So we are pretty much in the middle of nowhere, and look what I picked up. Another rear bumper, non-M, passenger door, some trim on the interior. I didn't get everything I wanted, but I guess I'll find some of the other parts from a junkyard or something. Oh well, let's go home and install everything. Okay dudes, so 198 miles later, I'm back home, and just a kind of quick overview of what I hauled. I picked up a rear bumper. This is a non-M, same as this one. This is also non-M, and I added a M3 style diffuser that fits on a non-M bumper, because normally you're supposed to have like this one, but I kind of like the M look, so that's the way I'm gonna do it. And also the M3 bumpers of these cars are starting to get pretty dang expensive. Like I saw an M3 black one that was kind of tempting, but it was all the way out in Vegas and it was like $250 compared to this one. This is like 60 bucks or whatever it was. So I decided to go this route because when I first bought this one, so my original bumper that I had was all black and everything, except the bottom section here was like that gray, kind of similar to the original side skirts of this car. And I didn't want to spend the time painting it, so I ended up looking for one that was like all black. And so I bought this one, and a few months later, much to my surprise, turns out this was a repainted bumper, because obviously the paint up here just started like crumbling like really bad. Every time I wash this car, I don't even touch this part because they start to kind of crackle right off, like you can see that. So yeah, I guess this was originally like white or gray or silver or something, and it's just been repainted. Everything down here looks like it's been okay. It's just this just gets baked in the sun. So I'm hoping this is actually original black and not repainted just like that. The other thing is I finally just got a new replacement passenger door, because like this side, honestly dude, this has just been the bane of my existence. Like for the 7 years I've owned this car, this window has not worked. It's just, this has been previously replaced even before I got it, and whoever did it used like some cheap old hardware, and some of this stuff has been drilled out. Like these are supposed to have pop rivets, and it looks like they drilled it all out and they put nuts and screws and whatever. So I mean, that's not really the biggest problem. Like this regulator here, this still works. If I was to plug this in to that harness right there, turn the car and turn it on, this will actually turn and lift this thing up and down. Now the issue I was having is, for some reason I cannot get this to get realigned with this window, and it's supposed to go on those rails right there. Like I replaced all of that and re-greased everything, and it's just I could not get the alignment. So every single time I work on this thing, it works for like a day or two, couple days or whatever, and as soon as I bring it up and back down or whatever, eventually the rails just fall off of this thing. So I got sick of it. I took it out and I put this 2x4, and it's just has not worked since. Look at that. Fun stuff. And it's just So freaking annoying, dude. So I found a replacement door and he told me everything should work on here. I got everything except the door panel. So that is pretty much empty right there. And I do have my original door panel, and per ChatGPT, that should mount right up to that. This, I believe, was off like a 99 323 or something. I don't know. But also ChatGPT says it should bolt up. The only difference really is the airbag, because this should have an extra, or not extra, this should have a side airbag, which means it may have an extra harness in there that does not clip into here, but that doesn't matter. Like, this car didn't have side airbags anyway, so I'm just gonna leave that unclipped and everything should be good. Let's see what else I got. I did get this new trim right here. So this one, I have the one in my car. Let me just show you real quick. I have this one here, but it's just pretty nasty. And I originally wanted to clean it, but I think that just might be like headliner glue or whatever. So I went to the yard like years and years ago, and I was pulling parts, and of course my hands are black, so they got kind of like stained. And I guess I could also clean it, but it's just like old grease and like gunk. So I think the more I clean this, it's just gonna spread. So I ended up just getting a whole nother one, and I don't even want to touch it because my hands are kind of dirty. So that is gonna get installed today. And the last thing I got was this, what is this called? Door striker thing that goes right here, because this is the passenger side. Let me show you what the driver's side looks like. I may have showed it in my previous video, but right here, this button has gotten so bad and it just keeps affecting how this window goes up and down. Like, I'm gonna press it right now, because every time you shut the door, that kind of like closes it onto here like that. Ah, come on, there we go. Usually driver sides go bad pretty like quick first, because this is always getting used compared to the passenger side. So I had the guy pull both of them, driver and passenger side, and one of them looked exactly like that, while this one looks a little bit better. So I'm gonna throw this one in. There's gonna be kind of a technique to put this in, because there's like a plate in there that could fall off if you do it wrong. So let's see what tricks I got up my sleeve to get all this installed. Okay, so rear bumper is actually a lot easier than most people think. I think a lot of people kind of have different ways of removing it, but this is the way I'm doing it. So this is a new one, upside down. I have the diffuser kind of removed here, and the same thing with that one, also removed. So they're both here side by side now. So just kind of picture this upside down, just like this. But basically, once you have this diffuser removed here, there's these two bolts right here and right here. So that would be like kind of lined up with where this toe thingy is, and right around here, directly underneath, there are gonna be the bolts. And I use this Torx, I think this is a Torx 50. So that will need to come off. Usually people just unbolt it from the inside there and there, which means all of this needs to come off, but I don't want to do that. So I usually just take this off and it slides right off. I'll take this off before putting it onto here. So those two, and then the other two are gonna be these two 8mm that are here, clipping this thing onto the bumper, and same thing on the other side. So now that that's all loose, this should basically just come right off, just like this. There we go. Sweet. So you basically just have to make sure they come off the rails here and over there. Rear bumper is now prepped and ready to get reinstalled. So I had that one right next to this one so that I can compare exactly what needs to be transferred over. And really there wasn't too much. I mean, the only things I really had to move over were these clips right here, here, and here, which is strange because I only had one clip there. This one here didn't have a clip on there, and the one on top was completely broken off. So I put these in, and I guess like I only was using one bolt here, but there's 3 holes here, 1, 2, and 3, which means I'll be able to screw these in. But the thing is, this one here has a little rectangle provision for it, but there's no hole, and I don't even have another screw for it. So maybe I'll just drill through it just in case in the future I do find a screw, then I can at least like use all three of these. But I mean, that one held on just fine with just one screw down at the bottom. I don't know, we'll see. Maybe I'll do it right and actually drill it proper. So besides those three, the two down here at the bottom, this one also didn't have a clip. Same with this one. So I pulled it from that one and transferred it over. That way I can get this diffuser installed on here like that. But this diffuser is gonna get installed after I have the bumper installed on the bumper, because that's the only way I'm gonna be able to put those bolts there down through the bottom. So let me install this real quick and get back to you. Bumper is back on. Not too shabby. Look how nice and clean that is. I kind of just wiped it down with a wet rag, but it's, oh man, way better than before. Like if you remember that last clip, it was all white up here at the top. Now it's all back to original, how it kind of looks like from factory, really. The only difference, or the only bad thing, is just there's a little bit of a chip right here, but I will take this chip any day over what I had before. So far so good. What's next? Okay, so up next is going to be this door striker, and I have the replacement here. It looks like when they took this out, they just snipped that off, but this should just pop out right there, and this is ready to install. So what's kind of scary about this one is when you take this off, there's actually a plate right behind it that the hardware screws into like that. And the issue is that plate in the back is not like connected to the body. It's literally just this, the body, and the plate. So as soon as you unscrew these, then that plate just kind of like falls off. So there's a trick to taking this off. This is a, what is this? Torx 40, I think. So I am going to, I've already broke torque on these, but I'm going to remove the one here at the bottom. I guess it doesn't matter if it's top or bottom, but I am just going to start with the bottom. So that's already loose also, but not completely taken off. I'm going to take this one off completely. And I did go to the hardware store and I picked up a couple bolts. These are M8 by 1.25, and it doesn't really matter how long, just as long as they're longer than this, that you can hold it in place. So I'm going to thread this in just like this. Like that. And then I am going to remove this guy completely. Oh man, hopefully I do this right. I've actually never done this. I just seen people do it online, and honestly it's kind of nerve-wracking. Okay, so you see how the bottom is threaded in, and I'm able to pull it towards me so that the plate doesn't fall. So now this comes off. This will just twist off, hopefully. Well, we gotta make sure it comes off of that harness. So I'm gonna put this screw back in place onto the plate. Okay, so the top is threaded in. Now I'm gonna take off the one on the bottom again. There you go. So now this plate is held in place because of that. This one should just unclip like that. Oh man, this is scary. But yeah, you can kind of see the plate in there, and it's honestly kind of a stupid design because once that plate falls through, it goes in the body, and there's like no way for you to get that out. So I guess this is a way to do it. So this will clip in just like that. And to note, the driver's side and passenger side are actually the same exact striker. This part number 10551, 810551, whatever. So this clips right back in place. Ooh, already works. You already heard the window go down. So that's plugged in. Now I'm just gonna press the button real quick. There it is. Good stuff. Sweet, dude. there we go, installed. Again, let's press the button. Way better, dude. Look at how bad this old one is. You can see I zip tied this in place because, let me see if I can focus a little bit better. Yeah, that's not any better. There it is right there, sort of. But basically, that's gone bad, this button here. So I've heard people kind of melt plastic and stick it back onto that button, but I didn't want to do that, so I put the zip tie right here, but it kept sliding off, so I put the second one, and it held it in place, and it was working, but it's just, I might as well replace it, you know. So okay, my dudes, so it's been a couple weeks and I haven't filmed anything because my phone just decided to take a dump on me and I can't film anything now. So I'm filming on my iPad, and also I can't do any 0.5, so you get what you get, guys, sorry. Anyways, I ended up installing this here really quick, but then I realized I got the wrong color. This is the tan color and I have the gray interior, but whatever, man, it's at least cleaner than what I had before. So then I started working on these doors. I got kind of fed up working on it because before I switch out the passenger door into mine, I kind of wanted to practice on the driver's side. And if you remember in the last video, I talked about how every time I opened this, the door wasn't like, it was just acting up. So I decided to take it apart to learn how it works just off camera. And then I realized, I found out the culprit. So if you see here, anytime you pull this on the door, it turns this, and this is latched onto this mechanism which opens the door. But when you zoom in right here, there's actually a crack right there. I don't know if it's gonna focus. Yeah, it's right there. And this is actually like kind of loose also. See, there's like a little bit of give. So because of that, when I pull this open, it's not fully engaging that to unlock the door from here. So yeah, now I'm stuck. So I can't just replace this part. I actually have to replace the whole mechanism, this whole latch thing. And on top of that, I have to swap out this like door cylinder, lock cylinder thing. So it's just become a way bigger job than I thought. So I think I'm just gonna end this video here. On the next video, I am gonna start working on the doors. So I'm gonna have to replace both driver's side, like mechanism, and then switch out this like lock thingy, then put it into here and get this all going, and then after that switch out the door, and then on top of that I also have to replace the mechanism here from this door to that one. So yeah, I'm just gonna end it here. Thanks, guys.